Come with me. See what I see. Hey guys.
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
It's Can-Am Ride Day. Where are we going today?
We're going in the west entrance of Yellowstone on up to the north side to Mammoth Springs.
So we're taking you along all the way to the north entrance, so stay tuned. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives, but in 2020 we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia, and from now on we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world? The voiceover we're doing today is going to give you a lot of information on our travel, but it was actually filmed the day before the devastating rains came to Yellowstone.
Yeah, they had 2 days of rain there, and that's what caused all the devastation in the park.
We're going to take you into the west entrance of Yellowstone and take you all the way to the north before it was destroyed, as it was, and show you our stops along the way.
From the west entrance, we were basically about 22 miles, and it was all 55 mile an hour, so it took us 20 minutes or so to get there. To get to the north entrance was another 55 miles, so you'll enjoy the ride going up through there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. A lot of the roads that you'll see us ride on got washed out in the devastating floods. It was pretty chilly down. Saltell Mountain, I believe, was around the 6,200 feet level. So these mountains around us were close to 9, almost 10,000 feet. And it was a little chilly getting to West Yellowstone.
West Yellowstone, which is the town right before you enter the west entrance. It's a little tourist town. They've got shirts and fun things and places to stay. And the only big restaurant in town is McDonald's. So all you have to do is get through this town, and now you're on the road to the entrance of North Yellowstone.
Yeah, you're about 5 minutes away from the west entrance at this point to get to the check-in point.
And this is before our tire was worn out.
Yeah, that was our worn tire.
So when you come into Yellowstone, there's 2 lanes. It splits into 4 lanes. You want to go to the far right side, not the left side, if you want to get in quicker. Otherwise, you got to wait with everyone else in line, and some are quick and some are slow. The cost to get into Yellowstone, it's a 7-day pass. Private vehicle is $35. A motorcycle is $30. And if you're going to be a person walking in or bicycling in, it's $20.
Good reason to get that America the Beautiful pass.
Yep, and the America the Beautiful pass is $80.
Annual fee. And if you're old like me, 62 and up, you get to buy it for $80 for your lifetime.
There is a military discount that's available, and if you also are a senior and on a tight budget with everything that's going on, you can buy a $20 senior pass, but you got to pay that every year.
Yeah. Yellowstone is basically a figure 8, so you got 4 entrances, and we stayed on the west side. It's about 14 miles from the entrance to you get to the bottom of the figure 8.
You're coming right in the center of it.
We're going to turn north here and go up toward Garner.
Most people turn right. That takes you to Old Faithful and all the normal stuff. We're turning left, like Bob said.
And this ride going to that 14-mile marker is incredible. You got the river right alongside the road, and you got high peak mountains on left and right. And
campground as you go through.
Yeah, very little snow on the mountains here because they're a little bit lower in elevation, but you get to see a lot of geysers and steam pots and all that stuff going in. I think I was blown away by how many steam vents are in this park.
This trip was the first time we'd seen the elk. We'd only seen the bison so far.
Mr. Elkie! Mr. Elkie! Stop showing me your butt! Hey!
Hey, buddy!
How are you?
And I can understand why the elk likes this side. It's a little more quiet and a little more private.
Heading north, we did encounter the roads to be a lot more in need of repair. Of course, being on a 3-wheeler, you're constantly jogging, trying to make sure you don't put a front or a rear tire in one of the big potholes.
He was making a figure 8 with me on the back.
Yeah, and the one day we did see that they were filling some potholes, so maybe it was just some upkeep after a cold winter, and since it was early in the season. So.
And it's the only place in the park where we encountered that the roads weren't as good.
Yeah. The ride on the motorcycle was incredible.
So we drove down to Mammoth Hot Springs today, and we're going to show you stuff that you're going to not even believe is real. I was trying to turn, and he's like, no, we're going down here. I forgot.
Yeah, this is our first time in the northern part of the
Northwest.
The Northwest, and man, the drive on the ride on the motorcycle was just incredible.
Yeah,
man, a lot of places for us to stop on the way going back for sure.
The Yellowstone experience so far is the west, is you have what I call the touristy side, the stuff that everybody goes to see, but then you kind of start heading a little bit north and you're getting a lot of the same things, but it's all so different. And now we're farther north. It's like another planet.
Yes, it is.
I love it. So right now we're going to look at this.
Yeah, they say this part of the Yellowstone's always changing. If you take a picture from year to year, it changes all the time.
Yep, it's never the same. It gets very active under the ground. And so here we are at Liberty Cap. And while I show this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it.
Liberty Cap is 37 feet tall. It was created by a hot spring that was active in one location for a very long time. The internal pressure was so sufficient that it raised the water to a great height, which allowed all these mineral deposits to form. But it took hundreds of years. Mammoth Hot Springs is a network of fractions and fissures. It's like a plumbing system that allows hot water from underground to reach the surface. Small earthquakes keep it open. The water comes from rain and snow that's falling on the ground around the mountain, and it seeps down into the earth, and then it's heated up. So where does this volcanic heat source actually come? It's either part of the large magma chamber underneath it, or it's a heat source that's closer to Mammoth. They actually don't have an answer on it.
I'm not sure how to describe it. It's like marshmallows and ice cream.
It's unearth-like.
Yep. It's nice. We're on a boardwalk for this entire thing.
To get around Mammoth is probably 1.75 miles of walking boardwalk, and with this you get a lot of elevation changes that involve staircases that go up and down. You will definitely get your workout getting around all these thermal formations.
What I like about it is that it looks like it's actually been carved by man and not by time, erosion, and water. Danger, danger, stay off the thermal ground.
Yeah.
It may look like ground, but it's not. It's thermal, active. So you've heard of the infinity swimming pools? This would be the ultimate infinity hot tub swimming pool.
Mother Nature created.
Yep.
Man.
If it wouldn't boil your skin off, you could sit there and stare at the mountains all day. I can never get tired of these.
This is super cool with it being
Yeah.
like you said, an infinity pool.
Yeah, it's an infinity.
Perfect description.
So now we're going to go up here because I can breathe again. So we're going to go up here so I can't breathe again. Check it out.
Just when you think you can get a breath.
It doesn't matter how fit you are, I don't believe. If you're not used to it, you're not used to it. I do feel like I breathe better at 8,000 feet than I do at 6 and 3, but
Yeah, we're at 6,300 right
Yep.
now, I think.
this is my tough area, 6,300.
When it comes to breathing and you're not used to this area, it doesn't matter who you are, it's definitely going to affect you. It's actually taken us 2 months, which is past the point of this trip, to feel like we can breathe at various levels.
Yeah, living at sea level, and then all of a sudden you're pushed into 6,000 and up to 10,000 feet. It makes a big difference. Mammoth Springs will definitely test your breathing capability, because you're going to make an elevation change of only 300 feet, but you're already at high elevation, so it will definitely get your steps in for the day. More steps, and then turn the corner and more steps.
The Travertine terraces you see here are formed from limestone. Water is going to rise through the limestone. It carries a lot of calcium carbonate, and it releases into the deposits, forming all these travertines. So you get that chalky white kind of look on the terraces here. And then because this is such a hot thermal area, one year you could come here and it could be all chalky white, it could be partially chalky white, or not chalky white at all.
From year to year, vents that weren't open that are now open steaming, so it's pretty neat.
They recommend that you stay on the boardwalk. Why is that, Bob?
Well, you don't want to die.
It's one of the hottest places in Yellowstone.
Yeah, so you don't want to get off your boardwalk and decide you're going to take a thermal bath, because you probably won't end well. Not to mention the acidity of the water coming out would probably dissolve your body.
Yep. And even if you're at a specific point on the boardwalk and you step down and it's not completely boiling your shoe off, your shoe would then be disturbing the bacteria growth that's growing there that's needed to keep the region alive and growing.
Yeah. You'll have to watch really close as we go around Mammoth, because you'll see water cascading over this limestone, which is absolutely gorgeous, and the film just doesn't show it as well as it does when you're in person. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. So the whole experience of what you get here is that this is an outer worldly experience. And it is like a cave turned inside out. You're going to see formations and things that you think shouldn't logically exist outside of a cave system. As we go higher and higher, you start getting the idea of what you're walking into. You've got the beautiful range of the mountains around you. And you have to remember what does look like glaciers coming down is just simply the limestone calcium deposits that are running down the side of the terrace. So from here, we're going to take you on over to the north entrance, and this was even more interesting. We've passed a campground here, and it was maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, according to how heavy the traffic was, on our particular day, it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty easy ride.
It's definitely peppered with prairie sage bushes everywhere. Really beautiful mountain ranges. The road is very curvy.
Yeah, it pretty much follows the river along there.
And as we go, we're going to get closer and closer to the water. So you're going to really see what used to be is gone because it was so close to the water.
What I've read is that they're going to kind of let the river take its natural path that it created, and they're going to have to carve out the hillside to recreate a road, which may take years in some spots because it got washed out so bad.
Yep. On this part, we didn't really run into geysers so much. Kind of the entrance coming in, we didn't really see any animals because it's so mountainous while you're here and so much water. But you enter a canyon that is pretty much very rocky.
This was probably where we had the most elevation changes as far as on the road going up and down the hills. It was just incredible, and some of the turns were sweeping.
I mean, look at the power of the water. I mean, it's very powerful on just a normal day.
So that road
is gone.
I believe the water went from a normal stage of 12 feet to 24 feet. So 12 feet of water would devastate all these roads, and it was a 500-year flood.
So now we're coming upon the north entrance and also the town of Garner. And there is a normal checkpoint once you get down here.
Yeah, this is one of 4 entrances. This was a grand one for us because the west was just like going through Disney. It was just a little checkpoint here. You got the beautiful
mountains in the background.
Yeah, but you're going to see the beautiful entrance here too.
And this is the town that was cut off for a period of time from everything because of the flood.
Yeah, this town has a lot of rafting companies that need this for their livelihood. So once they got cut off, they had to create a way to get people in the park from that entrance because otherwise this town would be devastated.
So we are now at the north entrance of Yellowstone. Which is kind of exciting. It's much more grander.
So the old entrance
Yep.
that you used to be able to drive through, and I think they kind of deter you from driving through it now.
Yep, the Roosevelt Arch. Welcome to Yellowstone North and the Roosevelt Arch. Oh, I'm not sure what this is. Kind of feels like a cage.
Like a walking gate, I think. It looks like a prison. Here we wanted to get Blue Spyder. Its debut riding through the arch. It was built in August 15th, 1903 at a cost of $10,000. Try to do that today.
Yeah.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So there was no charge of course for us to get back in because we used our America the Beautiful pass. So we're going to take you past Mammoth one more time here. The recreation of the park, whatever it's going to end up being on the north side, I don't know. So this is definitely giving you one last look of what it was before the changes came through. Like this little canyon here, I can't imagine because water would have been rushing over and through it.
Bison, 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 bison. They eat and they poop. They eat and they poop.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi buddy.
Hello.
It's partially keto. Last night we had chicken wings that were really good in West Yellowstone.
Yep, at the Buffalo place.
The Buffalo Bar and Grill, I think it was.
Yeah.
They were incredible chicken wings. We also got some chips, so we're gonna eat these chips.
Yeah, we don't want to be wasteful. They were pretty good.
And we got like, I don't know, 9 wings left over or something like that. We're gonna have some wings. And we'll probably have a lemonade.
Yep.
And a soft drink.
Or our electrolyte water. I lost my hat on the road, but Bob went back and got it for me and nobody ran over it.
Yep.
Nobody runs over HetteshWorld. Nobody. So we're gonna eat. This is the artist's paint pots that we're driving back to now. I think it's going to be one of the last things we're going to check out here in Yellowstone.
We found Yellowstone, almost every parking area that we needed to park in to visit whatever formation it was pretty heavy. Luckily, we're on the 3-wheeler, so we can get into some spots that you normally can't get in with a car. 8-foot section that nothing can fit in there except for Blue Spidey.
Yep, Blue Spidey was sneaky.
That seems to be the story of Yellowstone all over, where there's a restroom, there's one, maybe 2, and always a line. I can't imagine what it's like on major holidays or when the park's really full. No bikes, no dogs. It is handicap accessible. Once again, they don't want you to throw anything onto the thermal areas. So you're going to start out on a walkway, and then it looks like we go to natural terrain up here. Not really sure why someone is bringing their lunch back here, but takes all kinds.
I do need to make a correction here. This is definitely wheelchair accessible, stroller accessible to a certain point. We did see a lot of people carrying heavy strollers up and down stairs. So this was another beautiful place. We thought that this was all going to be mud pots because that's something Bob loves. We ran into beautiful geysers and beautiful steam pockets.
Yeah.
And of course we ran into
more steps for the day. Steps, steps, steps. Yeah, this is just basically a big giant loop. You go up a terrace and then back down the other side. And at the very top, when we didn't think we were going to see any paint pots, we saw lots of paint pots.
Yep, and they were super cool. So Bob, talk about why you like paint pots. Why do you like them?
I just think it's cool listening to them give a little mud pop. Pretty cool. Just think of all the thermal underneath that create all that. You see the steam everywhere, but to see the actual mud that's always breathing like that is pretty cool. And vents everywhere. Every place you see a crack in the earth, you see a vent sticking out.
I mean, it is kind of neat that Yellowstone allows you to get this close. I don't know why some people have to try to step off the boardwalk and do things and get even closer.
All these places we visited with a boardwalks are set up to where you can get as close as they feel like you can to feel the steam and feel the warmth, to smell it, and there's no need for you to get off the path and do something stupid.
All the trees that you see down here, and as we were driving, there was different tornadoes that have come through Yellowstone over time and taken the trees out. So that is why you're seeing so many trees that are just laying down, slid down the hill.
but the colored waters, the beauty of the mountains, the beauty of what was the road, even the bison.
Lots of bison.
Yellowstone is an amazing, magical place. So we hope that you like this video. We hope that you will give us a thumbs up. We hope that you will comment.
If you want to go to Yellowstone,
So remember, we're HetteshWorld,
come travel in our incredible world.
our incredible bison world.
In Yellowstone world.
Bye!